Today will be the halfway point of the build. James arrives early to ensure that the party girls are on time for a change.
His lift to work is here. Yesterday Dudu went to work on an aeroplane, today on a motorbike.
There's a lot of catching up that needs to be done if they're going to make the 7-day deadline. Everyone's going to have to pull their weight.
Yeah, I slept for like 4 hours, but...
4 hours?
Yes.
What did you do?
I mean, I'm sleeping in a hangar with these like women, and we're talking about our boyfriends and our, about love, about a lot of issues, and so yeah.
You resolved it.
And our crushes and all that stuff. I'm not going to tell you about that. You're not getting that in my magazine.
On this, the 4th morning, the increasing exhaustion hasn't dampened some of the crew's will to party. But miraculously, James manages to get the 2 worst culprits to work punctually for the first time.
You can see they started early today. It's not like yesterday or the day before yesterday. It was like started like 9 o'clock.
No, but I made this space, man. No, but like this is also my space. I can't walk on the. I can't work. No, but I came here first.
Getting down to work, however, is another story entirely.
Some descent in the ranks over there, but I think it's just getting rid of some of the stresses,
No, this is mine. These are mine.
No sooner in the workplace than Nomfundo finds an excuse to lure Dudu away from work. Anything for a bit of fun to kickstart the day. Nomfundo's extrovert nature is one of the main reasons for including her in this challenge, but striking the right balance between work and play gets more critical as the build progresses.
I actually didn't know until just now that we were actually making the seat, because...
Having completed the main structures like the wings and fuselage, the crew start on the more detailed parts that require greater skill and concentration.
Yeah, the insert mechanism, that was the part that really got us. There's a little latcher. There's a whole intricate little mechanism inside here that we put together about 5 times before we got it right.
Meanwhile, the fuel tanks are being pressurized to test for leaks.
Any one rivet in this can leak, so we've got to literally check every rivet, every corner. Because this is part of the wing, after we've checked it today for leaks, we rivet that on. And if it leaks, if we don't pick up a leak now and it leaks afterwards, it means we've got to unrivet the whole thing. And this little sensitive pressure gauge will show us if the pressure drops. If it doesn't leak, we zap them on, and we can put the wings aside, ready to go on probably on Thursday morning.
Right. Okay, let's go.
Lift it, Vince.
Though this was scheduled for last night, getting the sling on its wheels means they are truly into the next phase of the build.
Just that once the wheels are on, the engine can go on, which is technical work, which Vince over there is best qualified to do, and he couldn't start until the engine was on, essentially.
The installation of the engine must be meticulous. As Mike well knows, any mistake could spell disaster.
I've trusted my life to this engine on many occasions, flying around the world over oceans at night, in storms, flying in an open cockpit aircraft across the Arctic, and if the engine stopped at any point, that would have been me, dead. But haven't had a problem. And the nice thing about these engines, like when we fly up through Africa, you can't always get good fuel. So what we did when we were flying the trikes before is go and get the cheapest fuel you can buy and put it in, and the engine just keeps going and going and going. They are so solid, these things.
What we're going to struggle to do now is to keep all of the kind of less technical people busy. These skins can go on, the skin can go on under the undercarriage. They will do all of that kind of large scale, not technical work, but the technical guys can only start now. That's the big difference.
Dudu's just received a call about a problem with her son that she needs to go and sort out.
No, my son broke his asthma pump, so he's gonna need it, I know.
Because of the new phase of the build, Mike and James can afford to lose her while they work out everyone's new duties.
See you later. Ciao.
There's a saying when you're building an aircraft, 90% done, 90% to go. So when you think, geez, I'm just about finished, then suddenly you find you're working for another 3 or 4 months on the aircraft, That's why I've been a bit panicked.
Shucks, I'm freaking out. Just because there's so much to do.
There already is. What about the canopy?
And the seat.
No, what do you think this is? You know how difficult this is. I think Jean's going to bake it tonight. But it's a lot of work. It's so easy to mess up.
Jean is an invaluable asset to the airplane factory as he can work his way around any problem. His canopy design is an example of this. There are only a handful of places in the world that are able to shape such a specialized canopy, and the airplane factory is one of them.
We've done a lot of effort to try and make it quick for production. Previous ones, each one is handmade and tweaked. Take about 2 days just to do the canopy. I'm going to do the canopy in probably, hopefully, about 6 hours. So it'll be a little bit now and then a bit more tomorrow. I must bond it tomorrow to be able to fly.
It is a critical stage of the build, as if essential parts like the canopy and the fuel tanks are not finished on schedule, the bonding, which can take a day or two, will not be dry enough for the sling to be airborne before the 7 days are up.
Fitting perfectly.
Sure, it's going to fit perfectly.
There we go. Line run.
Absolutely fabulous seats here, made by these 4 women over here. Totally inexperienced, making a seat of this kind of quality. It is actually a tribute to the kit. Because, I mean, when you look at these 4 faces, they'd never even seen an aircraft up close on Friday last week. There's been a lot of bad behavior, drinking, and they managed to be seats like it says that it must be a hell of a kit. One thing that's been really great for me to see is the girls coming into their own on the technical side. You know, I've seen Dudu and Nomfundo building a flap from scratch, beautifully, perfect flap, better than anyone in the factory could have done it.
In the beginning, they didn't know what a cleco was, what a drill was, really. And I mean, now you can sort of say to them, okay, get that, and that, a 3.2 rivet gun, a 3.2 drill, etc. And they're even getting to the point now where they're sort of opening up the parts, laying it out, and doing a lot of the thinking themselves, which is excellent. So, although we feel we're behind, if we can keep up the pace now with them advancing like that, I'm sure we're going to make it.
But almost like clockwork, with every advance there seems to be a great disaster that puts the build in doubt.
I've just grown a little thing on my lip. Do you see it? I was scared of going to the mirror. Is it big?
You know, it can be a virus or something.
Fever blisters are often attributed to stress. And though Nomfundo seems to take everything in her
I
stride,
think it's going to start leaking. I feel some water building up in it.
there's little doubt that the steadily increasing time pressure is starting to affect everyone.
Your friend with the blister is still your friend.
Have a glass of wine.
I think I should actually have some wine. I miss my family very much actually now. My son had show and tell. He has show and tell every Tuesday. I wasn't there to sort of like catch things up with him. So it's a bit weird. But, you know, yeah, life has to go on. I'm seeing them on Thursday, though, so I'm quite excited.
Adding to the stresses of this challenge is being separated from family. But on Thursday, in 2 days' time, on the last evening the crew will spend together, their families have been invited to experience what their loved ones have been up to for the past week. Right now, however, there's a lot of catching up that needs to be done.
4 all the way. Okay, so I do that.
Tell you what is nice to see. It's 10:30, and we've had a bunch of guests, and he's been talking quite a bit, but everyone's back at work, going for it, like properly. Nomfundo, Dudu, Vega, Ronald. But we are giving it a good job.
It's now 1:20 in the morning, and we've just stopped, and Gareth is starting the night shift.
Gareth is going to work through the night. Jean is going to work till late, but not through the night, because he's going to glue the canopy on tomorrow night. I think everybody's feeling bullish, but tired.
Because of the amount of time they've lost, it has become necessary for certain experienced members of crew to work through the night. The rest are exhausted.
What a day.
Do you realize that Gareth is still working?
Gareth has spent all night wiring the instrument panel into the sling. The high-tech main instrument is manufactured in Cape Town.
Look at that, it's booting up. There's an MGL Voyager. He starts perfectly every time. This instrument, it is the best instrument in the world. You know? It does what an Airbus A380 does, at about like 1,000th of the price. But reliability is not really its strong point.
You see how much bigger my thing is? I've put my cream on. Look how big it is now. Jesus. Apparently I must pop it, but I'm too scared to.
Oh, yeah. It's not interfering with your talking, though.
Sorry?
It's not interfering with your talking.
No, never.
No,
I don't think they would interfere with that. I just had a piece on my tongue.
It may look like nothing but fun for a person as extrovert as Nomfundo, but in reality it's not so simple for single mothers to go on their own mission without their kids. As the day goes on, Dudu in particular has been on the phone desperately trying to make sleeping arrangements for her son.
Both having baby drama issues. You know, the kids from outside relationships, and the men are very unreasonable sometimes. They want to see us happy.
Dudu and Nomfundo's situation is not uncommon. Women-led single-parent families, though already at alarming levels, are on the increase in South Africa.
Yeah, now Dudu's baby daddy has dropped the child off at the girlfriend's home, and she has no access to the child. She's just trying to call to speak to her son, and the dad won't give her the girlfriend's number or anyone's number, so she can't talk to her own child. 2 days now.
When I asked him for access to my son, he says to me that it's, you know, I decided to come here. It's not his problem. And
what do you think the best solution is? I mean, what do you plan to do?
Pardon?
Do you think that you're going to have to drop the bills and pull out at this stage?
Yeah. So now I have to go get my son from his place. I'm going to sleep at home. I'll take him to school in the morning and be back here, because I'm not about to dump this for this idiot.
We are very sad to lose Dudu just for the night. She's going away for the night. She's going to look after her son, but she's back again tomorrow morning. First thing,
You're going to make me cry.
There's no way to get around it. Dudu is going to have to leave the build to take care of the situation with her son. The rest of the crew will have to share her work until she returns. While Jean greets the dawn after an all-nighter working on the canopy,
Hey, buddy. Nice new day.
attempts to get Nomfundo to work on time nets only Sherry Lee, who ended up drinking with Nomfundo till the small hours. With both Dudu and Nomfundo missing, the rest of the girls take their time getting down to work.
Okay, when you girls are ready, we've got work for you. We're desperate.
Mfundo says that thanks for the wake-up call, but she'll see you at 9 when she's ready.
No, she really said that. Well, the thing is, you know, okay, what can I say? She's a volunteer, and I have to deal with that.
Nomfundo is sleeping. Dudu is I don't know where.
Well, I do get a bit agitated and, like, pissed off, to be honest.
So,
Halfway between the two.
I don't know, I can't say I'm that irritated because like I'm sitting here falling half asleep. But at least I kind of made the effort to like wake up. Yeah, I'm so bitchy.
What happens is if we don't have everybody working the full 12 hours a day, then suddenly we'll end up like a few of us working like through the night. Like you.
She fought with me this morning because she said I didn't wake up. But I woke up like 10 times.
To wake up and go to work. I'm so tired and I'm not feeling well.
With Dudu still absent and Sherry Lee and Nomfundo making up their own rules, Mike feels powerless to enforce discipline.
Seriously not happy.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling well.
Nomfundo's excuses aren't convincing.
That's the thing.
That sounds like a shit excuse to me.
Mike is not sure how to deal with her blatant truancy.
I can tell you, I'm very happy she doesn't work for me.
So I know he's not saying what he wants to say. You know, I disagree about the fact that somebody's a volunteer, you can't say something, because the fact that you are a volunteer means that you've committed to throwing your weight behind something.
Okay, guys, lunch is served.
Someone's lack of input could be the difference between making this thing on time and not.
Everybody come for lunch, excepting you and Fundu. No lunch break for you. You're working through the night tonight with us. And especially no more wine.
I really think you need to be in tip-top condition to work on this very special sling. I would hate to jeopardize that by being tired. That's why
We're all tired, darling.
Nomfundo continues with her litany of excuses.
Some of us know how important this is to finish.
Though her bubbly personality and wit win over most situations, some of the crew are beginning to lose patience.
I didn't know what time it was, actually.
The thing is, it's difficult to know whether Nomfundo is being serious or not.
This will start working out for me. I think it's because I took leave from work, and psychologically, I was hoping to get some rest. You know, I haven't taken leave since forever. And now we're just constantly working hard.
Oh, come on. What did they tell you? Oh, you're going to build an aircraft, it's like holiday, you're just going to have cocktails and lay on the grass?
I was hoping that there'll be some of that, but there's none of that. It's just like constant drilling, riveting, kickoing. It doesn't end.
Hey, Dudu, you didn't even say hello.
Dudu returns around lunchtime after sorting out her domestic hassles. It's a full crew again, but they have a lot of catching up to do.
I'm working very hard here on the engine, the most important part of the plane. So I need to concentrate, because if I mess this up, it could be a serious problem, you know. Tightening bolts just to make sure James and Mike are safe.
That is quite something. I don't want to be nasty or anything, but the very idea of leaving my safety open to Nomfundo's tightening of bolts.
Vincent will be checking and redoing everything after me.
Redoing?
No.
I like the sound of that.
Redoing. After I check.
But would you mind actually just redoing it first and then checking?
He's so strict. Vincent's the strictest person I've ever worked with. This entire thing. And he pushes me like, do it now, you can do it.
Now, the thing is, you see, if I can do it, she can do it also.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes.
The factory where everything is made is just down across the roadway down the lawn there. And suddenly it's lunchtime and all the guys from the factory have walked over. Now these guys here are the guys that have made every single part that we put in together.
And if it flies on Friday, then I think we'll be
get to keep your job.
The factory workers have taken a keen interest in the build because they don't believe it's possible to build a sling in so short a time, especially where half the team have no experience and some are doing as little as possible.
Vince, I'm trying to hide away.
I enjoy working with him.
Yeah, he works hard, eh? He doesn't let you stand around, like he gives you task after task.
And it's manual labor, you know? I mean, it's hard work.
It is. Well, I'll go hide behind the wing there so Vince doesn't see me.
Day 6 of the build was the best so far. Everything went according to plan and the crew were able to make up most of the hours that they'd lost.
We are very fortunate to be where we are today due to overnight work by John and Gareth. If it was left up to Mfundo, it would have been a 17-day build. I think if we all keep pulling our weight, I think 8 hours of all 10 of us, which means I'll fly after lunch tomorrow, like we originally planned anyway.
So it also raises the other question, who's going to fly it? Because I'm sure Jean is desperate, so am I, and so are you.
It doesn't matter who fly first, but I think I have to go first, and then if something wrong there, I can fix it.
Everyone's in high spirits because tonight is the night that they're going to be joined by their families, and for once, Dudu and Nomfundo won't have to worry about where their children are.
Okay, everybody, could we have a moment's silence, please? For the first time in the last 6 days, could everybody, including Nomfundo, shut up? First of all, it's our last night together as a family on the hill, where we don't have the world here. I think that we're allowed to have a couple of drinks tonight, aren't we, Mike? Basically, yeah. Because the only thing left to do tonight is to put the wings on the aeroplane, which basically is just an afterthought. I mean, that's pretty easy to do. And the propeller, the wings and the propeller. And then there's the cow.
And test the electrics.
Get the paperwork done.
Do the weight and balance.
Do the weight and balance.
Put the registration letters on.
This is all good reason to have a few drinks.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go!
With the wing and fuselage sections now complete,
Lift it a bit, James.
Their joining together is a big moment in the build.
I'm very proud of the team. This is the first time in the entire process of building the sling that we've done something literally all together. It's just so emotional because it's, wow, the plane's complete.
It is the surest sign yet that they may actually do it in 7 days.
What do the guys at the factory think about us building a plane in a week?
They say it looks like they must go home and stay home because they can't make the plane in a week. And as we did it.
Tell me, what did you think before we started the project here?
Before, when he told me we're going to put the plane in 7 days, I was a little bit scary. I was sort of not going to make it.
Is it?
But after we started, I was positive going to do it. Because if he was walking around like some of our team here, because some of them, I'm not going to mention the names. I'm not going to mention the names, but some of them.
I worked on the wing. So I'm very proud. We made the win together, you and I.
Which one do you want? Do you want the pink one?
The lighter.
Or the yellow one?
It's the first time I've actually ever been up this early while doing this. Because my son was here. Mike, I'm up.
Amazing. Are you ready to work, baby?
Yeah, almost. Well, my God.
Not work, it's work.
It's just all sad that everyone's going back home tomorrow and, you know, it's back to normal again. It's my first big person camp where I meet people I don't actually know, except for 2 people actually. I knew Tutu and James, and I've made friends, and I don't really want to let that go. The plane came and this, and now it's a fully fledged plane that could race this thing anytime. Well, soon.
Mike must be really confident that the build has come to an end, because the staff from the factory have come to collect most of the tools.
Actually, this is all our stuff. We just borrowed them so that they can do their thing. So now they are finished. We're taking our things all the way.
So do you think these guys have showed you up that you can build an aeroplane quicker than you guys?
Actually, yeah, in a way. They've taught us something. But then from now on, we're going to be building something like 2 a week. 2 in 7 days. They've just built 1 there. So we're going to be doing 2
That's
a
the
week.
spirit, but then you won't sleep at all.
Oh, well. We'll sleep a long time when we're dead, don't you think?
We are. We have power. Fuel pump.
Hey, we got a fuel pump.
Landing lights.
On.
Yay,
landing
lights.
On.
Strobe lights.
Yes. Yes. Is that
perfect? We have no red things flashing.
Backup battery? Yeah.
For once, Nomfundo can relax without having to find an excuse, as only the more technical members of crew can finish off the last few tasks. Later in the afternoon, a critical problem appears with the main instrument, which brings out the differences between James and Mike's characters.
We do have a problem here. All of the sensors from the engine, which measure the cylinder temperature, the oil temperature, all of the readings are totally out of range. You know, my kind of approach, these engines are so bulletproof, I'd virtually just say, without any instruments for fun, you know. But I know Mike would have a very different view from that.
Yeah, you know, you compromise too much with your flying. At some point, you die.
Crash.
You know, you die. That's it. And you know.
But also, you bugger up this engine. Well, I mean,
bugger up the engine. You smash the plane. You ruin our reputation. You know, and just for an ego thing. You know, it's not worth it for me. It's
hard to answer to that.
With the end of the day fast approaching, the public start arriving to witness the wonder of the 7-day airplane in flight. Desperately trying to fix the problem, they make trips back to the factory to fetch tools they thought they'd long since finished with. Outside, the atmosphere is growing more festive, but Mike realizes there's no way that Gareth is going to fix the problem before sunset. But he's also made a realization that will still allow them to meet their 7-day deadline.
We've got until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning to be within the 7 days. So we just got to get the oil pressure working. Anybody wants to come tomorrow morning before 7, we're going to fly it.
We're going to move down from this fantastic hangar where we've all been living like Big Brother.
Though they were confident that they'd be able to sort the problem out quickly, the team's celebrations were premature.
He's our PR, ladies, and entertainment.
Gareth, whose job it was to fix the problem, didn't get to the party and eventually went to bed admitting defeat. It looked like they weren't going to make the deadline.
What happened is, we had a party last night, and I was exhausted, so I went to bed early, and when Charmaine came to bed at about 2, I suddenly started thinking, but haven't we had this problem before? Because I haven't really slept much at all. But, you know, I really wanted to so desperately make the 7 days, you know, and I've got an hour to go. So I'm feeling pretty bullish right now. I actually feel a bit bad for Gareth, because this is, you know, I'm sure he's going to just kick himself if it is the problem. Come on. Ah, oil pressure! Oil pressure, oil pressure, oil pressure. Yes! $57. Morning! I've been working since 2:30, and 1 minute ago I sorted the problem out, and I just started the engine.
Okay, this is it, guys. We've got 30 seconds. He's got to just get off the ground, I think. Whoa! Guys, there's not really a high-speed taxi. It's called flying.
What? I've got one Rubnut. Wait.
I mean, I went home last night in total dejection, you know. I mean, I'm not a loser. You know? I wasn't going to leave this place until all was lost. And everything was, we were not going to make it. You know, I told everyone, let's come back on Sunday. And then Mike Blythe wakes up at 2 in the morning. And shit starts happening.
They beat the clock by a matter of seconds, and the sling was ready for the next challenge, its flight to Europe. But what did the volunteers take away with them?
When I was getting exhausted and other people are still going, we're still going. It's commitment. Really, it's got nothing to do with physical strength. It's just that drive and willingness, and, you know, it's something that has really resonated with me, that I need to do that in my life. So it's commitment for me. That's what I'm taking away from all of this. I'm going through quite a lot of issues at work, and I'm just thinking, if I could help in doing this big thing that just happened over 7 days, that people take months and even years to do, why should I stay in a depressed environment? I'm just going to work hard at other stuff so I can be happier. Mike and James should be very, very proud of this achievement, that they pulled a couple of people together. It never fell apart. Nobody walked out on them. They never questioned themselves if it's going to happen in the end or not. So they've got beautiful spirits, and they've got that drive, you know, and I really admire that in them. I mean, if you could do this, you could do anything.